Yes, the last chapter name is, or fourth chapter name is Nada Anusandhana, or discussing about Samadhi. So many things, similarities are there in this chapter. We are already discussed. Okay, so that little bit I will go speed up way. The same it is talking about Ida, Pingla, Sukumna, means how they are becoming blocked, how prana will be flow, when prana will be flow, how your mind will be work. So these are the things are described in this fourth chapter. Okay, so this is your 28th class of your HATHAPRADIPIKA. So we are now trying to complete the fourth chapter. So here we are going to see total 114 slokas are there, but many things are very much similar to the other chapters. So what are the new things that I need to explain? Okay, and what are the other things that will go only by reading? So let's see. The first one, the sloka, what is Satmaram is briefing here or telling here, that Namah Shivaya Gurave Nadabindu Kalatmane Niranjana Padam Yati Nityam Tatra Parayana. Okay, and here he is saluting the Lord Shiva, and who is considered as the Guru or spiritual teacher, who are also known about the Nada and the Bindu, and who also victory and over his the Kala. Okay, who already knows the Kala, or who is the creating this Kala means time, or he becomes beyond the time. So here Swatmaram is discussing about the Lord Shiva. That Lord Shiva, who is the Lord Shiva? Lord Shiva is the Guru, and he just trying to give his salutation to the Lord Shiva, who is also creating, means Nada Bindu, who already known that Nada and Bindu, about that experience is also known by that Lord Shiva, and who are also enjoying or also overcome from the Kala. And this is the Niranjana Padam Yati Nityam Tatra Parayana. Okay. And I'm holy and just devoted my salutation to that person, that Niranjana Pada, or Niranjan Pada means who is happiest state. Okay. Or is a stainless state, that is called as the Niranjana, that is the stainless or pure state, we can say that. Yati attains Nitya Tatra Prayana, means who always attains there in this position. Which position? Who is already established in the Nada Bindu and Kalatmane. I'm just giving my gratitude to that Lord Shiva or the Guru. Okay, so first to say just giving his salutation to the Lord Shiva and try to describe the other slokas. What he is telling in this sloka, na athedaning pravakhyami samadhi kramam muttamam mrityubhrang cha sukhopayam brahmanada karam param. And what atha means, now he is describing at this moment, he is going in the explanation. Prabhakshami means he is going to explain about the samadhi krama. Samadhi krama means what are the states of samadhis are there. So that is now Swatmaram is discussing. What is the sequence of samadhi and what is the state of the samadhi are there? What are the different states are there? That is discussed now by the Swami Swatmaram. And this samadhi is said as the Uttama or Mrityudhanam, means this samadhi, whenever one will reach this samadhi state, what happens? And that state is called as the highest or best state of the sadhana. And Mrityudhanam means this is the destroy of the death. When one will be achieved in the samadhi state, that is said as the highest state, and also one is become free from the death. And it is the Sukhopayam. In this state, whenever one person or sadhak is established, that will be give the happiness to that person. And a Brahmananda Karam means he is also knower of the Brahman. Or he also knower of the Brahman means he also getting merged with that Brahman or getting a blissful state. Okay. So that is also said as the Param. Param means supreme state. And here he just described about the Samadhi, how Samadhi is important, why Samadhi, which state is called as the Samadhi, what the person will be experienced So here first thing he is telling what is the samadhi. Samadhi is the based on highest state. If one will be adept in that state or one will be get that state, what happens? The destroyer of the death will be happen, and it will be gives that person to the sukhopayam, and so that person will be get happiness, and he is able to combine his soul with that bliss Brahman, and that state is also called as the Param or Supreme. Understood? Yes, please confirm that you are able to understand or not.
Yes, ma'am, understood.
Okay. The next is Raja Yoga. These are the different synonyms as we said in the previous class. That is Kundalini. Different synonyms are discussed in the chapter 3. As we seen that Susumna synonyms are discussed in the chapter 2. And now he is discussing about the different synonyms of your Samadhi or Raja Yoga. Okay. The Raja Yoga, different synonyms are said here. The Raja Yoga and the Samadhi, these are the same names. And Unmani, these are the other names of the Raja Yoga and Samadhi. Unmani Kala, Manomani, these are already we discussed in chapter 2 and chapter 3. Unmani and the Manomani means this is the highest state. When your Nada Bindu will be get united, when the nectar is coming out, you are able to preserve in the Khechari Mudra. So that state is called as the Unmani or Manomani state, as we discussed in the chapter 2. Then also Samadhi's another name is Amaratvam, because you are just drinking the nectar, so that it is already said in the previous slokas that you are getting in the Amaratva state. Amaratva means there is no death will be occurs that person. So that it is said that Amaratva. So this is also a synonym of Samadhi. Then it again here the another name is said Layastha. Layastatva means Laya state. Okay, the another name is Laya. Samadhi is another name, or Raja Yoga another name is or synonym is Laya. Again, Shunya Sunyam. Shunya Sunya means the void state. Whenever we are getting the highest state of the bliss or highest state of that Samadhi, that is also called Sunya Sunya, means the void state. And Parampadam. Parampadam means the highest state here. So these are the other synonyms of Samadhi or Raja Yoga. So again, it is continuing in this sloka. Amanskam. It is also another name. Amanaskam means without any mind disturbance. Whenever your fluctuation of the mind will be happen, that is called manaskam. But when there is no movement of the mind is there, means you are able to fully control over your mind, that is called amanaskam. Okay, so this is also another synonym of Samadhi. Next is Advaita, Tatha Advaita. Amanaskam, Tatha Advaitam, Niralambam, Niranjanam, Jivan Muktischa, Sahaja Turiya, Chetika Vachaka. Okay. So Amanaskam means all of you understood that is the no any thoughts or you are fully control over your mind. That state is called Amanaskam. There is no disturbance in the mind level. Then Tatha Advaitam. Advaitam means non-duality. There is no duality is there, means Supreme is another and the self is another one. So these two become merged in that state, in the Samadhi state, so that that person or the sadhak will be able to feel the Advaita state. That is the non-duality of the mind. Dvaita state will be destroyed there and he becomes feel or experience the Advaita bhava. Next is Nirambala. Niralamba. Niralamba means when there is a alamba, that is called the mind disturbance. Alamba means when you are taking any support. If you see the what are the Samadhi means Dharana, Ashtanga Yoga is discussing. I think in Patanjali sir also said that the Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Dhyan means whenever you are taking a support of the alamba, you are taking any image of the Guru or any image of the God. When you are taking any support, that is the alamba. But niralamba means Samadhi means there is no support of image. We are not taking any support of the image to get concentrated on a place. So that state is called as the Niralamba state. That's good. Yes, please tell me whether you are able to understand or not. All of you getting my point or not?
Yes, ma'am. Getting your point.
Somaji, what happens to you?
Ma'am?
Are you getting all the points or not?
Okay, ma'am. Today actually I'm little busy, ma'am. My daughter's result came and everyone is calling.
So you are not there in the
I'm
class.
there, ma'am. I am there. But attentively I am not able to listen. Today
Okay.
one day you excuse me, ma'am.
Okay, then you will go to the.
I'll be muted, ma'am.
Okay. So here, Advaita Bhav means non-duality of the mind. Then Nirambalam means there is no any supports are required in that state. And Niranjanam means the stainless or the pure state of the mind, because there is no tamas and rajas, there is no one will be disturbed at that state, so that it becomes pure. Okay. Then Jivan Mukta means which gives the sadhak to the liberation state. That is called as the Jivan Mukta. Means that with the binding, means with the body he is present, but there is he is become free from the body or free from the soul and free from this world. So that state is called as the Jivan Mukta. Means with living in the body, he becomes free from any type of attachment. So that it is said as the Jivan Mukta. And again he is telling Sahaja. Sahaja is also another synonym. Sahaja means that is the natural state or the spontaneous. And that person or the sadhak who is establishing in the samadhi state, he becomes his all the natures have become very sahaja. And sahaja means there is acceptance will be there. So that is it, get a natural state of the Brahman or natural state of that divine. So that state is also called sahaja. Next is called turiya. Turiya means this is the fourth state of turiya. Like what are the three steps are there? That is the Jagrata and your Nidra and your Swapna. Then is your
Sushumna also. No.
Jagrat,
Swapna.
uh,
Sukshma.
no, Jagrat and your Nidra, your then Susupti. Okay, so Susupti is called as the Surya state, which is the beyond the all these things. Whenever you are going in a deep meditation, and the last state is called as the Surya. Means whenever you are reaching to that Samadhi state. But same Surya, if you've seen in the Siddhanta Padashi, he described another one more. That is the Surya Jit. Okay. So there he just tried to define Gorakshnath is defined above the Surya state, also Surya state is there. That is called as the last state. But if you follow the other yogic states, they are also referring that Surya is the last state and there which is the Samadhi state. So Samadhi, so Surya is also another synonym of Samadhi. So what is Surya? Surya means when there is no fluctuation of the mind is there, you become united with that self. So that state is only described here because these all are synonyms of the Samadhi. Okay, so the Surya, the Iti Eka Bachaka, means these are the known as the Bachaka Sapta, means the synonyms of Samadhi. So what are the names? We'll go from the backward direction. First one is Surya, next is Sahaja, Jivana Mukta, Niranjana, Niralamba, and Advaitam, Amanaskam. Okay, Nirambalam is one and Niranjana is another one. Niranjana means pure, Nirambalam means without any support. And the another one was Parampadam, Punya Sunya, then Sahajatattva, Laya, Amaratva, Manomani, Unmani, Samadhi, and Rajayoga. These all are the synonym of Samadhi or Rajayoga. Okay, all of you written. All of you understood all the stages of samadhi?
Yes,
All the
ma'am.
names?
Yes. Yes,
Yes,
understood.
ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, can you please show shloka number 1 and 2? Sometime.
Why you are late today?
Ma'am, a little bit feeling not well.
Okay. So one in one, he just Atmaram is showing his gratitude towards the Lord Shiva. And who is Lord Shiva? He just describing that in this chapter, sloka 1. Shiva is the Guru who knows the Nada Bindu and who becomes the creator of the Kala, who becomes the pure. That is in this way he is describing. And in the 2, he just said that whoever wants to get this Samadhi state. So what is that Samadhi state? Now I am going to explain according to the Satmaram. Now I am going to explain the Samadhi, which is also Uttam, means that is the very best one or highest one. And Mritudhanam means destroyer of death and give you happiness, means who are the sadhak who will be established in the Samadhi state. He becomes in a Uttama state, he becomes a destroyer of death, he gets the happiness, and he becomes get attached or become united with that Param Brahma or Param state. Okay, these are the things that discuss about the Samadhi. Then 3 and 4 is discussing the synonyms of Samadhi. Now here it is said how the Samadhi is very important. He just said in this sloka that Salile Sandevam Yadat Samyam Bhajati Yogataha तथा आत्मन मनुष्य रेकेण समाधिरभिति भी अधीयते. Salile Sandheva. Salile means, what do you mean by Salila? Yes, anyone? Salila means
Water, Jala.
Jala.
Water.
Yes. Salila means water. Sandheva means that is a salt. Whenever we are mixing a water, or mixing some salt within the water, what happens when it will be mixed? If I say you just mix this salt with the water, whenever after mixing the water, salt in the water, if I say you just separate it, so it is not possible at that moment of time. In the same way here it is said that what do you mean by Samadhi? Now Samadhi is that type of state, how the mixture state of how the salt will be mixed with the water, that is the state. That state is called as the Samadhi, where the Atma or the Swayam, Atma and Manas, these two will be get united. Means self and mind become oneness will be there. So that is called as Samadhi. Okay, that state. So here it is given an example that as salt is merges in the sea or in a water, so likewise, the mind and Atma are considering united. That is called Samadhi. Okay. The next, Yada Sankhyate Prano Manasham Cha Praliyate Tada Samarasitvam Cha Samadhir Adhidhyate. Yada means when the Sankhyate means that is the reducing of the prana, or you become restrained, means you are holding your prana and you become merges prana with the manas. Manas means with the mind. When these two will be get merged, what happens? Tada, then only samarasatvam, samarasikaran. As we discussed in the samarasikaran will be established. The same thing here is also said that samaraswat means when the mind and body, mind and prana become united. So how it will be get united? When you restrain the prana, when you are holding the prana, when you dissolve the prana. What is that state? When prana will be dissolved, what is that state is called? Yes?
Samadhi.
Samadhi. But how you become resolve the state prana? By practicing of which kumbhak?
Sahita Kumbhak. Sahita and Kevala Kumbhak.
Keval kumbhak. It is mostly resolved. When we are talking about the result, so that means it is only talking about the keval. No Sahita will be there. Only he is talking about Keval Kumbhak. When you are become mastery over the Keval Kumbhak, automatically your prana become united with your mind. So that state is called as the samadhi state. Okay, your mind is become be observed in the natural state. What the Atma will be there, the natural state is there, he becomes observed, be observed. And previously, he just because of the disturbance of the materialistic world and because of the attachment, his mind becomes also disturbed. But when this prana will be automatically controlled, your mind is also controlled, and whenever this two will be get united, that is called samadhi. Tat samancha dvayarekyam divatma paramatmano pranascha sarva sankalpaha samadhi so abhidiyate. Means again and again he is tracking the same thing. That is the twofold of the nature. Dvairekyam, twofold of the nature. One is Divatma, another one is the Paramatma. These are the two things. Individual soul and is the universal soul, or which is the supreme soul. These two are the two states of nature. So twofold. So that is the Divatma and Paramatma. Pranashta Sarva Sankalpa. When all the mental intention or all the thoughts of the mental thoughts will be destroyed, so that state is called Samadhi here. Okay. So what Samadhi again and again he is just describing the Samadhi another meaning. So first he is describing here when prana and mind get united, you are control over your prana, you dissolve your prana. So that state is called Samadhi here. Okay. And again he is here it is said mind Atma whenever united, that is called Samadhi. Again he is telling here when Jivatma and Paramatma get united, when this true union will be established, what happens? All the mental thoughts will be destroyed, and that state is called as the Samadhi. Again, here he is describing that rajayogasya mahatmyam koga janati tattvataha. Means whoever know about this Raja Yoga or the procedure of this samadhi, that how you need to come in this state. So jnana mukti sthiti sthir guru vakyena labhyate. Okay, whoever following this Raja Yoga method or whoever want to get that samadhi, how that person will be get? So whenever that person will be get samadhi, automatically jnana mukti will be happen to that person. So siddhi guru, according to the guru vakyena, according to their guru's instruction. If the person or the sadhaka will follow all the things or the practices, then he becomes get the jnana, knowledge, and the mukti. He will be got the moksha or the liberation. Sthiti means it is get a state of the higher state, and siddhi, he already get the perfection in his sadhana. So these four things will be get by that person who will be follow the Guru instruction and practicing the Raja Yoga. Okay. The first one is what? Jnana, the knowledge, inner knowledge will be got by that person. Mukti means liberation will be got by that practitioner. And sthiti means it is the very highest state will be get by that person. And siddhi means all type of siddhis will be got by that practitioner. Siddhi means it is talking about Ashtasiddhi. And what are the other siddhis are there that also got by that person. Okay. Then Durlabho Vishaya Tyako Durlabham Sattva Darshanam. Durlabha Sahajavastha Satpuro Karunam Vina. Durlabha means it is difficult to obtain or without any compassionate towards the Guru. If you are not following the Guru's instruction, then it is very much difficult to get the Vishesha Tyaga. Vishesha Tyaga means you are become renounced or you become detached from the materialistic world. That is the Vishaya Tyaga. That is very difficult if you are not following the Guru's instruction. Again, he is telling Durlabham Tattva Darsanam. So if you are not following the Guru's instruction, that is also difficult to know the Tattva Darsanam. Means what is the perfect truth of the life. That also you cannot, you are not able to know if you are not following the instruction. Then next is telling Durlabha Sahajavastha. If you want to get that Sahaja Avastha, that is natural state, What is the natural state? That is the soul is combined with that supreme self, or that is the Advaita Avastha. That state, if you want to get, that is also for that purpose also, you need to follow the Sadguru Karuna Vina. You have to take the blessing from your Sadguru. If your Sadguru or your teacher will be blessed you and properly, and you are following the instruction in a sequential order, then only you are getting the Vishwetaga, then you are able to do the Tattvadarshana, and you are able to get the Sahajavastha. These three will be get if you are following the instruction of the Guru. Means all the practices here, Satmaram is telling, you have to practice by following the Guru's instruction only. Okay. Again, he is telling here, Vividhai Sanehi Kumbher Vichitrai Karunairapi Prabudhaya Mahashakto Pranaha Shunya Praliyate. Means now he is talking about the sequence. Vividha asana means when you take a various postures as we discussed, that you need to first follow the asana. Then kumbhaka vichitra means different type of kumbhakas also we are discussing. Many types of kumbhakas are there. Karanairapi means that is the techniques, but here if you see techniques means such as define that mudras you have to follow. So whenever you are follow this asana, pranayam and mudra technique, what happens? The Prabhudaya means it will be awaken your Mahasakti. Which one is the Mahasakti? Yes, can anyone tell me? Which one will be waken up?
Kundalini.
But Kundalini, arising of Kundalini is the
Yes,
Mahashakti.
rising of the Kundalini means your Kundalini Sakti will be Prabhudaya, means it will be get in the, which is in the dormant state, that will be open up and that will becomes in the awakening state. So that the prana sunya pulyanti means then your prana becomes merged with that sunya, or that you are getting a void state. So that void state is called as nothing. That void or sunya state is called samadhi only. Okay. So but to get that state, you have to follow the proper rules how the Satmaram is said. Utpasakti bodhasya त्यक्तनिः कर्मणः योगिनः सहजावस्था स्वयमेव प्रजायते. After this, these are the same things are repeated again and again, so that I am going through this meaning. Sahaja state is conferred on its own in him whose remaining karmas are abundant and who experience the raising of Sakti. Okay, Sahaja Avastha, here it is written Tektina Sesa Karma, means he becomes who are able to get or who the person or the practitioner who is in the spiritual path and will get that Sahaja state. Sahaja state means it is talking about the Samadhi state. Then automatically the karmas what he is performing, that will be not binded, or that is not binding that people, or it is becomes free from that attachment, and that will be give the raising of the Sakti. That is the Kundalini Sakti will be raising up with that in the body of the yoga. Kusumna Bahini Prane Sunye Visati Manase Tada Sarvani Karmani Nirmula Yati Yogapi. When prana is flowing through the Susumna, that is needed because before the practice, what happens? Susumna was developed. So Kundalini would be in a switching space there. When you are flowing the prana in the proper way in the Susumna, automatically the mind, here it is said that mind is in your punya, means the mind will be going in a void state. When the mind will be going in a void state, so there will be no thoughts will be coming in the mind. You are becoming control over your mind. Then all the karmas of one knowing yoga are uprooted. What are the karmas you performed before this? What are the actions you are performed before this? That becomes the rules also coming out. And so there is no karma bandhan will be there. You are becoming detached from that all type of karma, and nothing will be just after performing that karma also you are not what is it? You are not expected for the fruit or you are not getting any punishment for that, whether it is bad karma or good karma. Okay, you are not getting any take of good, either bad or good, because you are already get that pure state. When you are getting that state, the highest state, automatically all karma actions are become destroyed. Next it is telling Amaraya Namastubhyam so api kalasvaya shitaha patitam vadane yekshya jagate jagate racharam. Jagate racharam. Means, oh immortal one, means that person who is the practitioner. Salutations to you who have mastery over time and by whose jaws the and inanimate alike the devoured. What are the moving chara? Chara means moving and unmoving the things in the whole world. Okay, that's what just mastery over the time, and he becomes in what you say that Saladaya. He becomes that person of the sadhak who is practicing this Raja Yoga and who is in the Raja Yoga sadhana and getting this samadhi state. You automatically getting mastery over the time, day or day. So that is said here, the immortal one. That person is considering here, Tasmana means stating that that person is immortal one. Next, it is Samatvam Agratre, Payo Rajati Matame, Tada Amroli Vajroli Prajayate. And here, if you are able to equanimity, when your mind is equanimity and wise prosumna, what are the other practices are said? If you are following that way and you are able to proceed your prana vayu, or you are just direct or a direction of the prana vayu, what is there, and apana vayu, what is the difference? So both are combining together. Then it will be both are coming together, then it will be flow in the sushumna in a proper way. So when it will be flow in the proper way in the sushumna, so automatically your mind becomes equanimity. So there is no required of Amroli and Vajroli and Joli. Or you are, if you are practicing it, then also it is you are able to get that samadhi. But here, what he is saying, that it is samatvam aprata. Whenever you are going to samatvam, if you want to get equanimity of the mind, then apatre vayu, you have to control your vayu or prana and move to the Madhyama. Madhyama means you have to channelize it in the Sushumna nadi. Then only you are have to, after you getting the channelized in the Sushumna nadi, how to perform Amroli, Vajroli and Joli Kriyas. This is what are the techniques are said in the third chapter. Then you will be more effectively, you will be more raised in the personality. How is described in the Amroli and Vajroli. Okay. We already seen in the previous class that how if you are practicing this, and how it will be easy to flow your prana of the Sushumna. Okay. But you have to practice that skill. Then again, same things are said here. Jnana Sito Manasi Sambhavati Tavat Prano Api Siyasi Mano Yate Na Yavat Celibata Celestitan. For that purpose, it is said the same thing. Prano Mano Dayo Vidam Vilayan Nayat Yo Mokshin Kya Lakshati Naro Na Patishyati. The Anya. What do you mean by that? How can there be the inner knowledge in the mind as long as prana is alive? In Salibata the same. How much you are control over your prana? If your prana is there in the body, automatically your mind gets disturbed. Whenever you are control over your prana, automatically your mind becomes control. So that is said here. When your mind is inner knowledge, how can your mind get the inner knowledge? Because as long as your prana is alive, mind is also not safe. If your mind thoughts will be not safe. When prana is moving, automatically different type of thoughts are coming in your mind. As long as you hold of nature, mind and prana become light-shaped, then only that person will get created. So it is only not possible for any other person. It is only possible for one person who will be attain or the samadhi state, or who is controlling his prana and mind both. Automatically that person's mind is controlling about the prana. That father's mind is also controlled. So Gyanta Sukhumna Sandeha Sandegam Krutva Payunikra Matstagam Krutva Sadeva Sustane Brahmarandra Niroter. Saying is the most suitable state has found out how to penetrate the Gyanta Sukhumna Sandeha. Sukhumna you have to penetrate and make the prana go sort of middle bracket. Whenever Sukhumna will be penetrated, then only prana will go in the middle bracket. But it's just why this Sukhumna will not penetrated easily? Can anyone tell me? You are with this again chapter. Why? Why Sukhumna cannot take open off penetration? Why it is not open circle? What is the problem?
Ma'am, your voice become low, ma'am.
Why the Sukhumna nadi is not open properly? What is the situation in the maternal person? Yes. As we discussed in the chapter 3, what happens? And the Sukhumna nadi, there is no mucus are there, the base of the Sukhumna. So whenever there is a coming pranayama also does, that mucus will be removed. If this mucus will be removed, so automatically that gets penetrated and prana will go in the middle part. And it is lost in the Nasarantra, the center of the higher senses. It will be lost by the Nasarantra. So that the Nasarantra is the ground at the head of the receiver.
Ma'am, your voice is not clear, ma'am.
Now it is clear?
Yes, ma'am, your voice is too low.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
clear?
Not yet.
No, ma'am, it's less audible. Unable to hear your voice fully.
Now it is clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, ma'am, now it is clear.
Okay. So here it is, he just again and again, Satmaram is defining what is Samadhi, how one will be achieve the Samadhi, whenever you control over your mind, whenever you flow your prana properly in the Susumna, then only your mind becomes controlled. So that is, and you will be get the higher consciousness. Again here, here it is said that Surya and Chandra, Surya Chandramashau Dhattah Kalang Ratri Divatmakam Bhoktri Sushumna Kalasya Gruha Grujya Meta Grujya Meta Du Dahrutam. What do you mean by that? That it is very important. This sloka, the sun and moon divide time into day and night. Yes or no? Whenever sun will become, we consider that as daytime. Whenever moon will become, that time we consider as the night time. In the same way, Susumna is the consumer of the time. It's just given importance that Susumna is a thing or there's a energy which will be the consumer of time. This will be conveyed by the secret. You have to keep it secret. Why it is said the consumer of time? Because whenever the prana will be flow in the Susumna, as we seen in the previous chapters, again and again Satmaram is telling you become conquer over the death. Means you are blocking the time of your death. That means it will be preserve your time. So that it is said here, Susumna is the consumer of the time. Okay. Next. द्वासप्तति सहस्राणि नाडीद्वाराणि पंजरे and susumna sambhavi sakti sesastveva nirarthaka. Okay, what do you mean by that? What are the dvasa saptati? Means what are the 72,000 nadis are there in our body? The susumna is the sambhavi and remaining nadis are unimportant. Nadi dwarana panjari means here it is considered as the cage. And so what are the channelized pathways are there to flow the prana? There are 72,000 nadis are there. How this panjara means this body will be made? So susumna nadi is the most important one or the central one, which is the sambhavi sakti means the divine power of Shiva. That is the sambhavi sakti. It is equal with the sambhavi sakti, and it will be just unimportant, means other nadis are unimportant, only susumna is very, very important as like sambhavi. Okay, so sambhavi here consider or is given a comparison with the Lord Shiva's power. Lord Shiva's one power is that sambhavi, and it is also discussed in the next slokas also. Sambhavi mudra it is discussed. So he according to the Swatmaram, sambhavi is a very divine power of Lord Shiva, which is the supernatural energy. In that way, what are the 72,000 nadis are there? Among that 72,000 nadi, Susumna is the best one. Okay. Vayu parichite yasmad agnina saha kundalim bodhayitva susumnayam praveshada nirodhataha. Means when Vayu is increased, then gastric fire means automatically what again he is telling the benefit. It is already discussed. We had discussed in the previous slokas also. The gastric fire will be should be taken along with the Kundalini in the aroused Susumna and blocked. And so if when the Susumna will be blocked, what happens? That is the low energy will be in the body. But when Susumna will be waken up, automatically his gastric fire of that practitioner that will be increased, and the Kundalini is also awakened in that fire. Means like we say that is the illuminate in the proper the base of the Susumna. When that will be illuminate again and again, that gastric fire is also increased. Because of that only, it will be creating more heat in that area. Then automatically it will be waken up the Kundalini. Bodhayitva means waken up the Kundalini. Susumna bahini prane siddhayate yatyeva manomani anyatha tvitara abhyashaha prayashaiva yoginam. Means whenever prana will be flow in the Susumna, then this state means when properly channelized of the Susumna will be happen, so automatically the Kundalini will be awakened. So that state, so when the Kundalini will be awakened, that is called as the Samadhi state. But here it is said the synonym of Samadhi, that state is called as the Manomani, where the consciousness devoid of the mind, means no thoughts and no consciousness is there in the mind level, and he becomes merged with that Sunya state. And therefore, other forced practice are just laborious to the yogi. If he is not practicing about the prana sakti and is not flow his prana in the Susumna, that should be prescribed by the Swatmanam, that always a practitioner try to flow his prana in the Susumna so that it will be easily get that Manomani state. If other practices are followed by that sadhak, then that is just waste of time for the yogi. Okay. Pavana badhyate yana manasteneva badhyate Manascha badhyate yena pavanastena badhyate. It is very, very important according to the exam point of view. After that, sloka is also important. So, restraining the prana means if you are holding your prana, then only you are able to restrain your mind. Okay. Pavana badhyate eno manastaya neva badhyate means whenever you are holding your prana or you are controlling your prana, then only you are able to control your mind. Whenever you control your mind, then only you are control over your prana. It is just vice versa. It is said that if you control over your prana, then you can control over your mind. If you control over your mind, then you can control over your prana. Again and again, he is just telling the same thing. हेतुद्वयं तु चित्तस्य वासना च समीरणः. This one is very important. Hetudvaya. Hetudvaya means the cause. There are the two cause of chitta. Hetudvaya to chittasya means there is the two cause of chitta. Okay. Hetu means cause. Dvaya means two. Chitta means the chitta having or the mind having two cause. What is that two? One is vasana. Another one is your vasana and prana. Samiranaha, I think. Samiranaha is the another synonym of the prana. Okay. So vasana and samirana, these are the two hetu of chitta according to the Swatmaram. In chapter 4, he is discussing. Okay. If you go through the Patanjali Yogasura, there he defined different things. But here he is Swatmaram is defining there is two causes of chitta hetu. That is, one is vasana, another one is the samiran or the prana. So what is said about this two? That when the two is destroyed or inactivate, the other also will become immobile. Means tayorbi nishta ekasmit. If you are able to destroy any one from these two, so dvapipi vinashayat means another one is also destroyed. If you are able to destroy your vasana, then automatically your prana become hold, or you become control over your breath, or your prana become what will dissolve. If you are control over the prana, automatically your vasana become destroyed according to the Swatmara. Manayatra biliyate pavanastraya liyate pavano liyate yatra namastatra biliyate means when mind is still, mano means mind. When mind is still, then prana is suspended there. That I said in the previous sloka only he is describing. Again and again he is telling same. The link between the prana and mind. If you are able to control your mind, automatically your prana also still. Dugdhang. Here it is little bit, one example is given in this sloka. That dugdham sama milita ubhavu tau tulyatrik yau manasya sama marutau hi yato maruta tatra mana pravruti yato manas tatra maruta pravruti. Mind and prana is mixed like the milk and water. First he is given an example that. What is the example he given? In the previous slokas we seen. Yes?
Prana.
No, in the mind and prana, there he given one example. In the, I think 3 or 4 sloka, he given example. 5 sloka, I think. What is that example? How one need to...
Sea and the salt, sea.
Yes. How the sea will be, salt will be mixed in the sea, or how the salt will be mixed with the water. He given first example there. Here now he is telling that how the milk will be joined or mixed with the water. That cannot be separate. Okay. See, he just giving that there, it is a just previous step of the samadhi. That when the water, salt will be mixed with the water, that is an external source. Okay, maybe it will be, we can divide it, but here when you think that your milk is combining with the water, that it is impossible to separate. Maybe in the salted water case, maybe it will be separate, maybe it will be possible. But when the milk will be combined with the water and get united, they cannot be separate. In that way, you have to mix your mind with the prana, or your prana becomes united with the mind in that way. So both of them are equal in their activities, because milk is also liquid form, or water is also liquid form. And water having no color, milk having white color. So that when we added water in the milk, it also converted as a milk only. So in that way, here it is said that having both are equal when they are becoming activities. That means when they are becoming united. Where there is pranic moment or activities, there is mind. Means when your pranic moment, means your prana moment will be mixed with the mind consciousness. So there is the consciousness, where there is the consciousness, there is the prana. When your prana moment, means your breath moment, or your prana energy movement will be combined with the mind consciousness. Means whenever you are taking breathe in and breathe out, when you are taking the holdingness, when you are applying the kumbhak, when you dissolve your prana, so your mind is also activated at that time. When this activation of this two link between the prana and mind will be established properly, what happens? What your consciousness will be there, prana will be flow in that way. Okay. I mean, it is fully control. You are getting fully control over your prana. Okay, first he is telling, first you try to control your prana, then your mind will be established in the pure state. Again, he is telling, whenever your mind become established, then you are able to hold your prana for a long time. Means you are able to, you become get or apply the Keval Kumbhak for the long time only. And you will get that samadhi state. Again, here is he is telling Taitraka Nashada Parasya Nasha Eka Prabhute Eka Prabhutir Apara Prabhutihi Adhvastayo Chendriya Bharga Britihi Pradhvastayo Moksha Padasya Siddhihi. Therefore, if one is annihilated, the other is eradicated. Means it is the relation is talking about the prana and mind. If one is active, then the other becomes active. When while they exist, all the senses are active. Okay. If they are controlled, the state of moksha or liberation will be attained. Means whenever you control over your prana, automatically you are getting control over your mind. Whenever you are control over your mind, then automatically your senses become control and you will get that liberation state. So here he just given another example how mercury and mind. Rasasya means it is rasa means it is talking about the mercury, but little bit mercury or mind means how if you see in the thermometer, mercury is present in the thermometer. If it is getting temperature, means little bit hot will be there, then it will be floated, means it will be disturbed or it will be changed. The mind is also disturbed whenever any activity will be or what his senses will be observed. In that way, his mind will be inactive or that mind is become fluctuate. So in the same state here, it is compared with the mind with the mercury, that both are unstable in nature. But whenever you stabilize it, means you are fixing the mercury and mind, what cannot be perfected? Means if you are able to control and stabilize your mind, then it can be a perfect position and anything you can get in your life. Okay. Murchito harate vyadhin mruto jivayati swayam badaha khecharatang date rasho vayushcha Parvati. Means, oh Parvati, when the mercury and prana are made steady, means whenever you have control over the mercury and prana, disease will be wiped out. Means no disease will be occurs in that body. Okay, Vyadhin Mruto means the person, the disease will be become destroyed and Jivayati Swayam, that becomes a gate, that a state of life-giving state, which one is called as the torpid. Okay, torpid state. Torpid state means when the life-giving state means there is no death will be occurs. That is the Jivayati state. That is called as the torpid state according to the Satmaram. Here it is discussed. And Badha Khecharatang means whenever you are over control over your prana or ceased your prana, then one becomes moves in the Khecharatang means moves in the space. That person is able to move in the space very easily. And that is the another siddhi in the Ashtasiddhi. If you know, like Hanumanji, that person, the practitioner who ever control over the prana and mercury, he can move in the space. Yes. Manah starei stiro vayustato binduhu stiro bhavet. Bindu starya tada sattvam pinda starya prajayate. Means when mind is still, prana is still. Then bindu is only still. Whenever you control this, these two, mind and prana, so automatically your bindu become able to control. Means the nectar which is coming out, that can be preserved. The bindu being held still, that is always a sattvic state. So when you are able to get or you are control over the bindu, means what is the mean by bindu? The nectar which is coming out the Chandramandal, you are able to control over that flow and you preserve it. So that is the bindu state. You are becoming stilling your bindu. So that is state is called as the sattvic state, or that is called as the which produce the steadiness in the body. Okay. All of you getting the points or not? Because same thing is repeated again and again. Please confirm.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. So this one is very, very important according to the exam point of view, this sloka. What here it is telling. Na indriyanang mano natho manonathastu marutaha marutasya layo natha shalayo nadam asrita. Means here now he is introducing about the nada. Okay. So what he is telling? Indriyanang mano. Indriyanang means it is the senses. Mano means your mind. Natha means you are the master. Mano natha means master over the mind. Maruta means the prana. Marutasya means whenever you are dissolve your prana. Natha means you become lord or the master of laya. Okay. It is interlinked to each other. First is talking about the sense. S. Then is mind. Then is prana. P. Then is your laya. Okay. What here it is said? Mind is the ruler of senses. Means what your senses will be get from the outer world, that will be observed by the senses. So when your senses will be, means your senses will be ruled by mind. Okay. The same way your mind becomes ruled by the prana. Same way your prana becomes means here it is going in the downward direction, that if you are control over your senses through the mind and your mind getting controlled by the prana, and when the prana is getting control, then you are getting a state that is called as the laya state. All of you understood? First we are preserving through, first we need to preserve our sense. Okay, this sense can be preserved by mind.
Mind.
Yes. How you become control your mind?
By controlling prana.
By controlling your prana. When you control over the prana, what happens? You getting a state that is called
Laya. Laya state.
that is called laya state, which is the basis of means the natha salayo nadam Nadam, Nadam Asritaha. Nadam Asritaha means whenever you are getting this laya state, this is the base of the nada. Okay, this is the basis of the nada whenever you are getting a laya state. So if you want to get this laya state, means after reaching the laya state, then you are able to hear about the nada, the inner sound. That will be heard whenever you are getting that laya state. When you reach at that laya state, then only that person, the practitioner, is able to heard about the nada. Before that, it is not possible. So that first we need to control our senses. For senses control, you need to first do the mind, control over the mind. How your mind getting control? You have to control over your prana. So these all are interlinked to each other. Means first, then what you need to do? First, you need to do the control over your prana. If you control over your prana, automatically your mind gets control. When your mind become control, automatically your sense will be control. Then when these all are become control, then you will get the laya state. Or that is the basis of the nada. Understood? Understood this sloka, because it is many times it is coming in the exam.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Maybe question will become like this, that which one is need to control to get the nada. Options will be given. What are the procedure? Mind, sense, or prana, like this. Maybe the options will be given. You have to choose the current sequence. So ayamavastu mukhyakyo mastu vapi matantare manah pranalyaya kaschit anandah sampravati vartate. This is verily called the liberation or moksha. Means whenever you are, when the practitioner is able to heard the nada, so that is called as the liberation or moksha. But others might not call it. Means others who are not know about it, they will not call it the liberation. But according to Swatmana, whenever you are getting the laya state and control over your prana, mind, and senses, then you are getting the laya state, and you are heard a sound, inner sound, that is called nada, and that is called the liberation according to the Swatmana. Nevertheless, when prana and mind are in laya, indescribable ecstasy is created. I mean that state is very much powerful, and that state is which is not can be described, and it is a very supreme state when this your mind or prana get united and you are reaching a laya state. So now he is discussing about the laya little bit. He is just giving importance to the laya. Pranasta swasa nishwasah pradhwasta vishaya grahah nischesto nirvikarascha layo jayati yoginam. When inhalation and exhalation, when nishwasa and praswasa are stopped. So when the nishwasa and praswasa will be stopped? Can anyone tell me?
In Kevala Kumbhaka.
Yes, whenever you are applying the Keval Kumbhak, that time only inhalation and exhalation becomes stopped. And the enjoyment of the senses becomes annihilated. Annihilated means the senses, what is observing from the outside, that becomes also stopped. Because when inhalation and exhalation only going on, that time you are able to, suppose I give one example. Whenever you are taking inhalation, that means you are just smelling to the outer world, what is going on. But when there is no inhalation is there, that means your sense organ has become inactive, means become inactive at that time. You are not able to feel or not able to smell anything. When smell will become, then only the taste will become, then only you are able to feel in the mind level. So when all our inhalation and exhalation will be stopped, that is the kumbhak is there, Keval Kumbhak is applied. So automatically your sense becomes inactive. When there is no effort, a changeless state will be occurs. So without any effort, automatically your senses become controlled. When this so when your senses become inactive, you will attain a state, or that is a changeless state, it is said, occurs. The yogi attains the laya or absorption state. So that state is called as the Laya state. Laya means you are becoming fully concentrated on a something, and that is called as the samadhi only. When and that stages will be defined here. In which stage you are able to hear about what are the sound, that is discussed here. So when your senses will be controlled, that is you are adopting the Keval Kumbhak properly. So yogi will be attain the Laya state at that time. That is called as the highest state according to the Swatmana. So, Ichchana, Uchina Sarva Sankalpo, Nishesha Shesha Chetistaha, Swab Gamayo Layaha, Ko Api Jayate Bag Gochara. Means all the prominent desires. Ichchana means what are the Uchina is there. The sankalpa means what are the desires will becomes in your mind. What are the attachments will be there, because of that only the desires will becomes out, na. So all the desires become destroyed. What are the sankalpa means resolutions also. Resolutions we can consider as the desire, because of the desire and resolution only you are becoming disturbed, na. So that resolution, that desire becomes destroyed in that state. In which state? In which state your desire become destroyed? Yes? Laya state. Very good. So all the desires become finished. The body become motionless, means your body becomes still in that position. As a result, in the absorption of Laya will be happen, which is only known by the self and the beyond the scope of words, which cannot be said in words. It is only experienced by the practitioner who is practicing this state, who is just following this all the Rajayoga methods. That practitioner only able to experience that lower state. He becomes observed with that self, and that is the supreme self, and self becomes combined in that state. Okay, and his body becomes still in that position, and all desires become destroyed. Yatra drishtir layastatra bhutendriya sanatani sasaktir jivar bhutanang dve alakhya layangate. Where the sight is directed, absorption occurs. Sight is directed means you are fully concentrated. Sight is directed means fully concentrated, or full focus is there. It is talking about that. And you become observed with that supreme. You become visualization means you become merged with that supreme. That is which is the elements or senses or Shakti exist externally, which is in all living things. Both are dissolved in the characteristic place. Means the internal principles, what are there, means what are the bhutas and senses are working. Again and again, Satmanam is telling, when you get that Laya state, what happens? You become fully concentrated, fully focused, and the dissolution of the bhutas and senses will be happen, so that the living being who are present in the nearby, what are the energies there? So that energy or that power that persons who are having, that also cannot be disturbed you. Okay, and you become get a alaksha. Alaksha means you become get an unmanifested state, and which is called as the layam gate. That will be get you united with that, or you become united or merged with that unmanifested thing, or that paramatma. Okay. Layo laye iti prahuhu kidrusang laya lakshanam apunarvasa nithyo nalayo visaya smrutihi. Means some says it laya whenever this you attain this state, what is said by the other person, that is what Maram is telling. Some says laya, but what is the characteristic of laya or absorption? That laya is a non-recollection of the objects of the senses. when previous deep-rooted desires are non-recurrent. Means what is called as the laya state according to Swatmaram? That when your senses are become blocked, your senses are when your senses become blocked, that is no desires will becomes in your mind. So no impression will be created at that time, because when you are going through the actions, then only some impressions will comes out. So what Swatmaram is telling, when you control over your senses, then there is there is no place for the desire. So automatically, what are the relocated actions will be there, that will be not bother you, or that will be not creating any problem in that state. So that is called as the laya state. वेद शास्त्र पुराणानि सामान्य गणिका एव एकैव संभावी मुद्रा गुप्ता कुलवधुरिव. Now he is giving introduction about the संभावी mudra, that how one need to do the, how one need to get the laya state. So you have to perform the संभावी mudra. That we will discuss in the next class, but let me finish this one only. That Veda Shastra means Veda Shastra and Puranas are like the common woman. Common woman means like, although if you seen the girls whenever they are getting married, that time they converted as the Kulavadhu. Okay. So here he just given an example how the girl can move here and there, means very free from in the society. So in that way, Veda Shastras and Puranas are, it is like the common. Means if you are going through the Vedas and Shastras and Puranas, it is very common knowledge, but one knowledge is there in the Hatha Yoga, that one should kept secret always, like a Kulavadhu here. So what is that? That is called as the Sambhavi Mudra. It is not discussed in the third chapter. We remember here, in third chapter, no discussion about Sambhavi Mudra, but in fourth chapter, Swatmaram is telling you have to perform Sambhavi Mudra to get that laya state, and it is should be kept secret like a Kulavadhu. Okay. All of you understood or getting all the points or not?
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
A little bit you have to, means it is like a essay type. Okay, this is no more points are there. There again and again he is just telling about the what is samadhi, what is the laya. After telling about the samadhi, how prana and mind connected, how your mind and atma is connected, how your mind and senses will be connected. So that all relation he just first tried to describe. Then he is coming to the laya state. Means what is exactly laya? But whenever you are getting that laya state, what happens in the samadhi? So that stages will be described here. So first he will, I think he is describing about the Sambhavi, then he is telling about the your Khechri Mudra. So Khechri Mudra we already described in the second chapter. I think, third chapter. No need to describe it again, I think so. So please, all of you go through the Khechri Mudra for tomorrow class. I need to complete by tomorrow. If time will be permit, little bit we will take more, 15 minutes if it is possible. I will say to the sir, but tomorrow we need to complete the HATHAPRADIPIKA. Okay. Okay, thank you everyone. Then let's do the prayer. Having